Welcome to the Disney Dream webinar. Good afternoon, everyone. Here is my grandfather, William Washington, and my dad, Michael Washington. So my family oftenly traveled to Disney World. We offered to take in 2011. My parents offered to take my grandfather. He was 69 years old, and it was his first time going. He was skeptical about going, and his other son tried to convince him not to go. But he ended up going. He was a dark American, as you see on the screen, and he was terrified of stopping in this one town in North Carolina because he grew up in the time of injustice with dark Americans. So we continued on, and we eventually arrived in Savannah, Georgia. That's where Paula Deen's restaurant is, Mother and Sons are. It has some of the best mac and cheese that you could ever find in the South. We stayed in Georgia for about 2 nights. Then we took the 5-hour drive to Disney World. As we arrived in Disney World, and my parents were checking in, and my grandmother was, my grandfather sat in the seat just playing a game by himself of what license plates can he find. He was so nervous, and he was so excited like a kid. He wanted to get on this one ride. It was called Soarin'. It was at Disney World's Epcot, one of the parks. When he got on it, he loved it. No one knew what it was, but everyone enjoyed it. He called all 7 of his brothers and sisters and told them that he just rode this ride, and he was so excited. Then he's passed away currently, and at his funeral, all his co-workers were telling us his amazing trip to Disney World that he took with his number 1 grandson, that's me, and his son and his family. He was so excited, and a dream actually came true from Disney World. A dream actually came true from Disney World. Walt Disney had a humble beginning, and he never lost sight of his vision. Now, I have, like I said before, me and my family have visited Disney World very often. And I've always had a fascination for Walt Disney, and I always loved him. My 8th grade school project was on Walt Disney, and one quote that he said that always sticks with me is, "If you can dream it, I can do it." Each year, because I was homeschooled, each year my mother would prepare an assignment to talk about your dreams and how we to do them. Like, one was called, "Oh, the Places We Will Go." And it really mapped out, I did mine on like a sermon, but it really focused around the dreams. And then the other one was a word art, and you list your dreams to what you want for the school year, and you list them for your life. And one of my dreams have come true from that assignment, and was preaching a sermon. And this past summer, I got to preach my very first sermon. God plans stuff for you, and he gives us the ability to dream and have these things of it. And it's amazing. It's awesome. Walt Disney had to face his employees in 1941 after the company was losing money from 2 movies that had failed. It was Pinocchio and Fantasia. He never lost sight of his dream and continued the dream. Okay, but he remembered something in his head. It was a park. When he went to the World Fair when he was younger, and he had an idea to create a park called Disneyland. With him creating this park called Disneyland, he created an amusement park. It was awesome. Like I said before, Walt Disney had a humble beginning. Walt Ellis Disney was born December 5th, 1901, in Chicago, Illinois, to Flora and Ellis Disney. Those were his parents. Ellis had some crazy jobs, and they were very poor. Those jobs included being a struggling farmer, he worked at the World Fair, and he was very abusive. His mother, Flora, was a school teacher. His family struggled because of the money shortage, and they really did not know what to do. But Walt Disney, never looked down. He never at all looked down. The boys worked very hard. Roy Disney, his brother, worked cleaning hearses and delivering newspapers. Walt also delivered newspapers and worked at a factory. In 1918, during the World War I and the Spanish flu, Roy Disney joined the Navy. Walt also wanted to join the Navy, but he wasn't too young to join the Navy. Walter joined the Red Cross to help the Spanish flu pandemic that we've suffered over 100 years ago. But Walt was able to take art classes when he was young because it was education, and his mother was a teacher, like I said. And he wanted more. He didn't just want this. He really wanted more for this. He never lost sight of his vision. As with his child fantasies, he always loved it. He always said he was like Tom Sawyer. He was like Tom Sawyer. He compared his life to. They both had simple lives, and they couldn't paint the fence. It troubled him. He was a feature and actor in Peter Pan, because he loved art, and he loved all of that. His imagination of Snow White, Walt features in acting, and he just loved it. He had a status quo with business and family. Walt's talent of art, and he believed family should never be left behind. And family and business were two. Here's a quote from him: "A man should never neglect his family for business." Before he left to go for Hollywood, he left money for his mother before he moved over there in California. His business and his art, he had a motto. It was keep moving forward. Don't look in the back, just keep moving forward. His imagination, people follow his model. Walt Disney had a superpower, his imagination. Mickey Mouse, right here, was created on a train. And after his Oswald the Magic Rabbit was stolen, he decided to make a new character. He made Mickey Mouse. Walt Disney continuously dreamed. One of my favorite things of Walt Disney's dreams. He had a dream for an amusement park in Florida. We might know it. It's been 50 years. Disney World. He now has an empire of amusement parks all around the world. They're everywhere. And it came from that small little dream of him saying, "Oh, I remember going to the World Fair. I'm going to make something called Disneyland." Before he died, he said, "I want to make something called Disney World." And now he has Disney Worlds, Disneylands all around the world, China, England, everywhere you go, there's a Disney park. And it started off with a small little dream. He never let his humble beginning of him being in a small little box stop him. He dreamed big, and he thought if he dreamt big, and he always did that. As a big ending of this webinar, something that reminds me of this, I come from a family of dreamers. My mother's side of the family believes that you should follow your passion. Do what you're dreaming, like Walt Disney did from that small little humble beginning, how he dreamt a world of his creation. And he did it. He made it. It's now the future, and it's done. You never stop dreaming. As I leave you with this message, follow your dreams. Don't stop how big it is. Don't think about what money. Just dream. Thank you, everyone.